Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you've been following my Chanel saga, which has now become a trilogy with parts 1, 2, and 3, I will link them down below for those of you who are new to my channel and haven't seen those videos yet. But in a nutshell, I purchased a Chanel medium classic flap in the black caviar and silver hardware. I bought it from the flagship boutique here in New York City on 57th Street right before the recent price increase, so I got it at $5,600. And unfortunately, soon after I had brought it home, I noticed there was a popped stitch on the brand new bag. Had not been used yet, all the tags were still intact, so I brought it back to the boutique and was looking to get an exchange, but unfortunately they didn't have any other bags in stock at the moment. So that was that. I got a refund and I walked out. The thing, in hindsight, I do believe that the SA who helped me was a little bit neglectful, because she could have called Saks Fifth Avenue or Bergdorf's right down the street and seen if they had any bags, and apparently they did, because she told me after the fact, after she had given me the refund, which was odd. At that point it was too late, because once you receive your refund, if you're about to buy another bag, you have to pay the new price, and at that point the price had already gone up from $5,600 to $5,800, so it was going to be a $200 price difference. So definitely a bit frustrating, but I figured it was just not meant to be, and I had determined that I would wait till my next trip to Europe and perhaps pick up a bag at the mothership store in Paris. But then I got a little impatient, and a few weeks ago I went to the Saks Fifth Avenue boutique and asked, do you by any chance have this bag? And by the way, do you have any made in France? Because the first bag I bought, as you guys may remember, was a made in Italy bag, and I thought, wow, I really had my heart set on a made in France bag, so if I do get my hands on one, it will be one made in France. And to my pleasant surprise, the SA at this boutique here at Saks said, yes, we have several made in France. So she brought one up for me. And I know this is turning out to be a bit of a detailed story, but I think it's important just to share, because I think there's a lot to learn from, and hopefully this story can help others prevent, just sort of avoid getting into the situation that I did, because this is not a happy story. So I'll unbox while I speak. But the SA brought up one bag, and it was very flat. The quilting was very flat, and it was very matte. So the caviar, it looked, instead of being very jet black, which is what I wanted in terms of color, it looked almost like a dark gray. So I asked her if she could bring up another one, because I was really looking forward to getting a bag that was super black, and also I wanted puffier quilting. That was a big thing for me. And she said sure, so she brought up another bag, and that one was definitely puffier and it was better in terms of color. But unfortunately, when I held the bag flat like so, the flaps here on each side, they were turned up at an angle, and I'm sure you've seen bags like that, but I assume those are bags that have been worn for a while, and maybe the owner opened and closed the flaps by holding the sides here, and that could have distorted the shape a bit versus holding it from the center. But I was really disappointed that a brand new bag would have such angled flaps on both sides. So it was to the point where I could actually slip my fingers underneath the flap, and it wouldn't even be touching the top of my fingers. That's how much space there was. So I thought, that doesn't look very well made. It doesn't look very tidy. And the SA, at that point, she said, I'm going to call over my colleague who is much more experienced than me, and she can help you decide between these two bags. And frankly, in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't think I will choose one of these two bags. I think I need to see another one. But, I wanted to go through the process and respect what she was suggesting. So that colleague of hers came over, and she examined both bags, and she said, oh, I would choose the first one, which, like I said, was the flatter quilting, and it was more gray. And I asked her why, and she said because the flaps are really neat and flat, whereas the second one, the flaps were sticking out. So she caught the same thing as I did. And I said, okay, you make a good point, but I'm not really happy with the fact that this first bag is so flat. I really like the puffy quilting. That's what I was looking forward to. And she said to me, to my surprise, she said, oh, I think the flatter quilting looks even better. And I don't know if she was just trying to help her fellow colleague make a sale, but that's the first time I've ever heard anyone say that they like the flat quilting. Maybe that's just me. And then the SA who was originally helping me, she nodded and said, yeah, I agree, I like the flatter look. And I said, okay, well, that's great, but I personally prefer the puffier quilting. And I apologize, I know that you've shown me 2 bags already, could I just see one more bag? I'm pretty sure at that point I got an eye roll, but it needed to be said because I wasn't going to drop over $6,000 including tax on a bag that I wasn't feeling super happy about. So she brought up this bag, which is the 3rd bag, okay? So let me just get to the point on this bag. I unboxed it. I was so excited to show you guys. I peeled off all the protective stickers. Maybe I'll edit the video and just upload that on my Instagram so you can see get the satisfaction of just seeing me peel stickers, because I love that part. But when I was in the store, I was feeling a little bit pressured to make a decision because, like I said, this was the 3rd bag they had showed me, and I really felt like they thought I was wasting their time, even though the transaction took less than probably 20 minutes. So I checked the quilting and I checked the sides, and I said, okay, great, I'll take it. However, I did not check all the way down to the inside, and I don't know if you can see here if I do a close-up of the lining, but there is an air pocket. If I press it like this, do you see that? There's an air pocket under the bottom lining of the bag, as if there is just, a bit of space there. It's not flush against the bottom. And the first bag that I brought home, which I wound up returning because of that pop stitch, it was very neat and snug at the bottom. Also, on the side here, if I press here, it's a little bit lumpy as well, the lining. It's definitely not snug. So I'm not looking for absolute perfection here. I know that all of these bags are made handmade. They're all a little bit different. The quality is a little bit different year to year. The leather is a little bit different year to year. I understand that, but as a buyer of a brand new bag, especially at such a high price point, I didn't expect all these little issues. And I don't even know if they're little issues. I would love to know your honest opinions. If you can leave them in the comment section down below. If you think that, this is worthy of a return or exchange, what would you do? Have you seen this before? Have you experienced this? I did check online, and there were a bunch of websites and forums where people had complained that this was happening to their bags, or that they noticed this on their bags, especially in the jumbo size. It seems like it's more of an issue. And it was a mixed bag. Some people were saying, it's not a big deal. You're never going to find a perfect Chanel classic bag, so it's on the inside, just deal with it. And others were kind of like me, wanting to make terms with it, and I want to be okay with it, but then realizing this is going to bother me. If it bothers me now, it's going to continue to bother me, and I'm going to remember how much I paid for this bag. And every time I see the lumpy lining, it's probably going to make me upset. So yeah, I don't know. This wasn't an exciting unboxing, but I definitely wanted to share this with you guys in hopes that it would help you in your own purchases if you are considering purchasing a brand new classic flap or even a pre-loved one. Just things to look for, things to inspect. I thought I did a pretty good job, especially because I had gone through this with the first purchase. I was really thorough. I guess I just didn't look all the way to the bottom of the inside. I just focused on the outside, the sides, and I went like this to make sure that it was truly made in France and that there were no scuffs anywhere. And then I said, okay. So I have about, I think, another 10 days or 2 week or so window before the refund policy runs out. And I'm really on the fence, guys, on whether or not I should exchange it for another one and really just brace myself for another experience where I may have to look at a few bags and get a few more eye rolls? Or should I return it and just call it quits in terms of the Chanel Classic flaps, because this is kind of feeling ridiculous, you know? I don't know if it's worth it. So I'm really conflicted. Again, I would love your comments, just your pure honesty, your help, your advice. Yeah. So that's it for today. I will do hopefully a more peppy video next time. I do plan on doing a giveaway, so stay tuned for that. I am doing a really cute giveaway as a gesture of my gratitude for all of your support and all of your positivity, so that will be coming soon, but I just wanted to get this out there and really just seek out your thoughts and advice. Thanks so much for watching. If this was helpful, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up. Till next time, bye bye.